the reason I'm kind of putting this together, or at least giving it a try, is because Mixer is flooded with Fortnite streamers, and a lot of people say that as a negative thing, but I think it's also positive. When you can find those people that really are set apart or a step above, the pack, so to speak. So, Nikoko, the first question is, what do you think it is about your channel that adds maybe a uniqueness that not everybody else has?
So for my channel, one thing that it actually started with one of my old managers that I used to work with when I actually used to stream on Twitch. His biggest advice to me is something that was the hardest thing for me as a streamer, period, in any game, was the ability to talk to people when no one's there.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that he would join in and it would say like one viewer, but I wouldn't speak until that viewer had said something.
Right.
So he basically coached me through being like, hey, like, you should just always talk. And I was like, I don't know what to talk about. Like, I don't know what to do. And he was just like, just talk about anything. Like, literally, like, talk about what you're doing. So the one thing I think that separates me from a lot of people is the ability to talk when no one's there and to have a full-blown conversation, to act like I'm streaming to an audience of thousands.
Yeah.
And I've taken a lot of pride in that because it takes a lot of practice. It's not something that I developed right away. It was just something that over time I just got really comfortable with talking to myself. And then when I look over in the chat, I see like there's people there. Reading the chat while I'm playing is something that I also pride myself in, especially playing at like I would consider at like a really high competitive level, and being able to like make jokes and laugh with the viewers and do all that stuff like that. I think that's another like key part.
Yeah, isn't it called the gift of gab? Because I think we have that in common. Like, we're both good at just like talking.
Yes.
But
That's
I think
what everybody says.
I think the part that you really hit on, which is important, is like it takes practice to be able to do that, especially when you're first starting out as a streamer, to talk to a room of 0 viewers as if there are 10, 20, 1,000 people there, whatever. And that's a hard skill to develop. So that's an awesome that is something that I think can set you apart. And you always look for that when you're, browsing the Fortnite directory. Like, you're looking for, okay, this person actually has a few kills, or this person actually has some decent stats. But also that interactivity, I think, is even more important on Mixer than, let's say, Twitch, because of the FTL. And people expect you to respond to their comments in chat, so.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm looking at your Fortnite tracker stats. So just for Season 5, right now you're sitting at a 50% win percentage. And that's pretty crazy. So that means out of the 3 games that we're going to showcase tonight, you have to win 1.5 of them.
Okay, 1.5. Got it.
Yes, exactly. So good luck on that. So even just in Season 5, you have 126 wins, 50% win percentage. But I think your KD might be the most impressive. You're sitting at a 13.3 right now.
Oof.
That's pretty good. That's not good?
No, that's really good. I'm like, oof, like,
I thought the oof was like, ouch.
No, it's like really good.
But if you want to look at just... Sorry, go ahead.
Once the 14 come out, then you're in trouble.
Yep. minigun.
Oh my gosh. And if you want to look at just the last 7 days even, your win percentage is at 55% and your KD's at just above 16. So,
wow.
The last week. Didn't know that. Yeah. So I'm really excited to see what you and your team could do tonight. So just one more question. I'll let you guys go and do your, 16 KD thing. So the last question I have, and this is, I'm just kind of curious about this. Do you have goals as far as streaming or Fortnite specifically, either way, for like, let's say a year from now or like 5 years from now?
My biggest thing is just building that community and having people, confide in me and to go to conventions and to see these people in the way that they, hug their fans or viewers. But I mean, I call them like family. They've been with you for years. We just meet all these like wonderful people all over the world, and just to share that experience where they know, some of the memes that you do, and let's say some of the memes you do in the game, and just that carries, tons. Where I just feel like that builds like a very positive legacy that I just want to leave behind. And that's what's like my motivation for streaming, is just to have, that build a family basically and just grow. I think to myself, a lot of people say that Mixer has a younger group for the most part. Mm-hmm. And I feel like some streamers, being a little older, I'm being 25, we kind of carry a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? We carry a little bit more maturity, I guess, in a sense. But we have like more power in terms of like, telling the younger youth and just being like, hey man, like your words can carry a pretty strong meaning to the right person, like, or to the wrong person. Like you just come in, you say something, and that could be that tipping point for someone to like lose their mind, or and I understand they're just words, but it's just you're trying to change the culture of the younger generation to not be negative. And now that person, I hope when that person joins the next channel, he'll think about what I said. And even if it's one person out of 50, it doesn't really matter. It's like, what if that one person goes in and the next channel he goes in and says, hey, I hope you're having a great day, and you're doing really good, and says that nice comment, it makes you feel good. So that's basically what I try to just change in people.
I can tell that you take that kind of that influential position of a streamer very seriously, and I think that's really important. So I don't know, I talked to Mr. Magic, we'll watch your channel and be like, how does this guy not have X hundred number of viewers right now? Because the way you handle yourself on stream is as if you were handling a large audience. So I'm excited to see the point when your channel does get there, because I think you already have all the tools to handle that type of behavior. So good stuff. My
cheeks are red.
All right, so that's kind of it. Langston and I will be kind of casting on your guys' gameplay, but it is called Triple Threat because what's happening is we're gonna all go into a game, all 4 of us, but then I'm gonna intentionally die, so I'm gonna like run off the side of the map or whatever. That's on purpose. I'm not just that bad at flying. Okay. So that way I can spectate your gameplay. I agree with you, but
there's a bunch of loot over here.
Going right now.
I think they're gonna try to group up on Divided. There's the 4th teammate they were looking for. That finishes off the 1 squad. I think shotguns seem like they're secondary, and SMGs are the way to go. Although Nokoko uses both. He uses a scar to get some quick hits, and then he finishes with a shotgun.
I want the llama.
They're fighting over this llama right now. I know llamas are nerfed. They only get like what 200 materials right now. But sometimes you can get some nice shieldage from those llamas, which Nokoko and Divided can use. Nice finish with that shotgun. Oh, that was so cool. Does that guy have 2 rocket launchers? Oh, he rushes him. Oh, that was a nice play. But he must have cleaned up a couple of them.
Are you saying you want to skeet shoot right now?
I can edit.
Got it. I got it.
They're right at the end of this game, and they're skeet shooting.
But they're not picking up anybody, right?
It didn't hit.
That's
great. Mats?
I love it. Here.
Lucky Me Live is still alive.
Hit him
Yes. There's hope. I just need to see you get a couple kills.
Be in the moment where we lose him again.
There's at least 2 people knocked. There's another person inside. Oh, never mind. That wasn't even. They just wrecked that squad. There you go. He gets another one knocked.
Dude's hurt.
Broke that guy's shield. Oh, he finishes off that squad. That's amazing. Oh, look at their all sniping. Look at all 3 of them are just sitting there. He couldn't resist. He gets 2 hits. That was beautiful. 1 headshot and then another down. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Wow.
These guys?
This is the team you need to kill, though.
Those shots were so good. I can't even. Oh my gosh. The first game you guys had 25 kills as a squad. The second game was like 18, I think. 7 and 11. Anyways, that's pretty ridiculous.
Oh,
it's pretty great.
What a game.
But I think my favorite clip was honestly right there at the end with those 3 players all like sniping to the north, and then you just are like, yeah, I can't turn this down. Let me just pick them up.
I couldn't. I was like, what is happening?
I think that was my favorite because you hit, I think, 2 or 3 shots in a row because you hit 1 shot on each of them with your hunting rifle before rushing and cleaning them up. So that was.
They look like geese. They look like flamingos standing on top of a hill.
I was trying to go for the jump pad. I was thinking about it when I heard the minigun come out. I was like, oh, no bounce pads, no anything.
It'd have been perfect if you had stickies and could just be like, bloop, bloop,
bloop. Yeah, I know, right? Something to counteract.
Well, okay, a couple questions from the chat then, and then I'll do a quick wrap up. So, Rock City Roller wants to know, do you ever feel bad about what you're doing to these kids? Like, do you ever feel like, oh, I just ruined, that kid is gonna go cry to his mom now, after I did it? Like, you ever feel that?
No, not even, that thought never crosses my mind ever.
No.
Just because, like, there's so many times where I've been killed in those ways where I'm just like, you'll get over it. You'll get over it.
Life is hard, kid. Get used to it.
Yeah, life is hard.
All right, the second question was, when is it appropriate for you to, quote unquote, play safe instead of thirsting squads that are knocked? So, like, in that scenario, as an example, you had 3 knocked from that squad, and then you rushed them. Would it have been better to, like, back off and, like, fortress up and let the other teams fight, or no?
You're saying with that knock that I got at the very end?
Yeah, well, you knocked those 3, right?
Yeah,
but...
I should have let those fight. That was like, I was actually just thinking about that, but I didn't know who they were fighting and I wasn't paying attention, and just like the heat of the moment type thing. Realistically speaking, in squads, like 1 versus, you know, I was the last one alive versus the 8 that were left. Realistically, what I should have done was let them fight, and then I would handle it afterward, or like maybe let them fight, and once they're in a build battle together, just start like picking them off one by one. Like, didn't care like who was who type of thing. I think that was much better play. But it was kind of like what you said. It was a meme moment where I just had to take it. Like, I couldn't.
Like, how can I not shoot at these 3 like
golfing
geese on a hill?
Yeah, pretty much. Oh yeah, golfing at Loot Lake.
Yes. Well, thanks for being the first featured streamer for Fortnite Triple Threat. So we'll see. I'll keep you all posted if there's gonna be episode 2. I already have people in mind that I want to promote, but you were the obvious first choice. So
well, thank you so much. That means a lot.